How do you actually become rich and successful? Well, in today's video, I'm going to teach you everything that I know about becoming successful and wealthy in your own definition. Because what does rich actually mean? Because it's super subjective to everyone and their needs. But to me, what being rich means is having time freedom, being able to do everything that I want to do on my terms, living a life of purpose and one that is by design, which I chose to live myself. So in today's video, there's nothing about how to make £10,000 a month. I will be sharing towards the end some business models that you could start, which could make you financially well off, that work in today's modern day and age. But I'm gonna go so much deeper about becoming successful and rich and how you actually obtain that. Because it is not just about starting a business, Amazon FBA, e-commerce, day trading, and just watching YouTube videos and then trying something. It happens well before that. So now, how do you actually become wealthy? Well, they didn't do it by exchanging time in a job. Number one, I have to say that. There is nothing wrong with having a job, but the true wealthy and successful individuals out there in the world did not exchange their time 40, 50 hours by building someone else's company. So that is number one. You will never become truly rich and truly free in your life if you always have to ask permission for a day off. Fact. Now, they didn't become rich by searching on YouTube how to make £10,000 a month, how to become a millionaire, and clicking on all these clickbait thumbnails. That's the truth. Okay, so you can go on YouTube and you can watch all these videos about how to make money and all this kind of stuff. It means nothing if you're not the person that could actually become rich. So don't listen to your co-workers when they tell you, oh, I've invested into trading 212, I've bought some Tesla shares, some crypto, it's gonna pop, I'm gonna become a millionaire. And then you listen to them. They haven't become financially free, they're still in a job, but you've taken their advice and now you're investing into trading 212. Investing doesn't make you rich. Okay, so there's no such thing as overnight success. I really wanna say that at the beginning of this. Becoming rich and successful is, yes, a byproduct of building a business and generating cash flow and having a sustainable business, of course. But the person who becomes rich happens well before the business ever comes into play. And that's what I want to dive into in today's video. You have to be rich in the mindset. So there is a reason why they call it the 1%. And I've learned this more as I've gotten into business myself. There is such a small proportion of the world that actually end up being successful and wealthy because it requires you to do things that the average person cannot do. Fact. You could go into your local city centre and walk past 1,000 people. You're only going to walk past 2-3 people who are entrepreneurs and business owners that have what it takes to be the rich person to go on to see success and wealth. So I want to ask you this before we get into this. And by the way, this is the reality of becoming successful. How many of you are willing to work all the weekends, all the bank holidays, work 2 shifts a day, your 9 to 5 and then the 6 till 10, every single day for 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 years without earning a penny in profit, just to build your business, to really become an expert in your craft and your niche so that business becomes established and sustainable? How many of you are willing to do that? There is no such thing as weekends and sleeping less. I'm going to get into all of this. I want to share with you 6 key traits you're also going to have to adopt to become the rich person well before the money lands in your bank. And that is number 1, self-belief. Overcoming judgment and fear of failure and having no plan B. This is number 1 at the top. You have to believe that you've got it in you to become successful and rich. You have to put yourself within that body of the person that you are going to be. You cannot listen to outside external noises. You have to become that person. Number 2 is discipline. I talk about this a lot and it really amazes me that people aren't talking about this as much as I am. Discipline is at the core of everything. Your health, your standards, your values, your money, the way that you are in life, how long you live, just your whole being formulates around how disciplined you are. And then that will lead to wherever you end up in life. So discipline leads to making sacrifices, delayed gratification, working when no one is watching, putting in the yards when you are not being rewarded for it, working when you see nothing in return and no one's patting you on the back. That is the discipline. Going down to the gym at 6 a.m. in the morning when it's hailstones, thunder and lightning, and you do not want to get out of a nice warm cozy bed. That is what separates you apart and will end up ultimately to your success and your riches. Controlling your money. You really want to go into the shop and buy some food, but you hold it back and you put it into a stocks and shares ISA, or you put it back into your marketing adverts, or you put it back into your business. Number 3 is resilience. Having the ability to bounce back when everything is thrown at you, you're knocked off the horse and you can still get up and go again. Overcoming rejection when people keep saying to you, clients, potential clients, no, don't want to work with you. No, don't want to work with you. No, don't want to work with you. And you come back and you come back and you come back and nothing stops you. And by the way, these are all interlinked because the self-belief will get you back into that rebound, that resilience. The discipline will allow you to keep that resilience. Number 4 is consistency. Showing up daily and committing for a long enough time to know whether it works or whether it doesn't. And you stick with it so you don't lose credibility. There is nothing worse than starting something, telling everyone, a week later, you change it and you do something else. You lose credibility because people are thinking you're a flitterer. So stick with something and be consistent. Aaron, how do you grow so fast on TikTok? I post 5 times a day. How many times do you post? Well, once, and I'm not growing. There's your answer. My consistency in volume is beating yours. I'm not making any sales. Okay, how many sales calls or DMs are you doing a day? Well, 1 or 2. Okay, your volume and consistency is not enough. Show up every day. Number 5, adaptability. And there's this quote, some of you would have heard it, but I'm going to say the full quote. Now, we only hear the short version. A jack of all trades and a master of none. But the full quote, which I can relate to, is a jack of all trades, a master of none, though oftentimes better than a master of one. Which is really ironic actually, because that is an entrepreneur, someone who is creative and a business owner, potential anyway, is where I'm, look, I'm no good at plumbing, I'm no good at DIY, nothing like that, but I can adapt, and you need to be able to do that. You need to be able to wear the CEO's hat, the marketer's hat, the sales rep, the customer service person, the cleaner, the liaison officer, whatever. You need to be able to adapt to all these different roles in the beginning of running a business towards that aim of success and riches. There is no point just being good at one thing and you cannot adapt, especially in a world now with social media and AI. Things move so quick. So if you're not able to adapt and move with a trend or move with a new process or a new platform, you will get left behind. So that's the full quote is great. And number 6, communication. You have to be good at communicating. Sales, influencing other people, leveraging other people. Having a vision and painting that to someone so that they believe in you. Building a network. Those are the key traits, 6 key traits that you have to have long before you ever become rich. Prior to the money being in the bank, you have to become successful and rich in yourself. Anyone can go onto YouTube and search how to start a business or the top 10 side hustles and then give it a go, but they're gonna go, oh, this is hard, I haven't got it in me. That's the whole point of this video. This is the truth. So forget the business model for now. And by the way, I've got all my notes here, so we're not going to miss a thing. I really want this to be informative for you. And by the way, if you do like this video, please do like and subscribe. I'm trying to give you real and raw information opposed to all this fancy fluffy stuff online and all these clickbait videos, because I'm building businesses and it's freaking tough. Like, it's so tough. So now forget the business model and let's stop searching for quick wins, the shortcuts and the unicorn moments. They don't exist. This is the blueprint, the how-to, the exact formula and step-by-step on how you become rich. Like, truthfully. Number 1, when people have become successful and wealthy, what did they do? Well, they started. That's the first thing. Have some of you even started this process? Working the 2 shifts, working the weekends, educating yourself, working bank holidays, no excuses, taking full ownership. They had a reason why. You have to have a deeply burning reason why you want to pursue success and riches and fame or whatever it might be. They had a plan and committed to it. They understood the requirements of what it would take and the sacrifices needed in order to achieve those goals. They knew the problem that they wanted to solve in the industry and the niche that they were going to become an expert in. They didn't flitter trying this thing, that thing, this thing, where no one knows who they are or what they do and actually how they're solving problems. They niched in, they found the problem that they knew that they were passionate about to solve, and they became an expert and they focused on that. They completed 4 evaluations in which I talk a lot about, and this is within their life. The self-evaluation, have they got it in them? The social evaluation, are they around winners? The financial evaluation, making sure that they can look after their own money. And 4, the time evaluation, because time is so precious. They woke up early and they went to bed late. I've never met anyone in business in the first 1 to 4 years that didn't wake up early and go to bed late and put in the hours. The difference is we love it, right? So it's not a pain in the backside. We actually love it, but you have to wake up early and you have to go to bed late because you need the time. You need the hours in the day. They got around winners and they asked for help when needed. Too many people who want the quick wins jump into something, they try and do it all on their own, they have no information, no education, and they don't ask for help. They find it too tough, they throw in the towel and they go, I'm going back into a job. This is too tough. I don't know why everyone bangs on about business and entrepreneurship, riches, success and all that. It's too hard. They didn't ask for help. Put your hand up and just be honest and be vulnerable and say, I need help. There's nothing wrong with that. They gave up and they never had a plan B, AKA they burnt the boats. They went all in on that one thing that they were going to become an expert in. They chose to drive a crappy car. They chose to not buy materialistic things, opposed to remortgaging, buying Gucci slides, financing an expensive car. They went through delayed gratification, knowing that eventually with all the riches and success that they have, they can buy anything that they want. But for the short term or medium term pain, they didn't spend money on materialistic things. I drove an absolute rubbish car for many years, and I never had a nice car. It's only really in the last few years we've had nice cars. Now, they are open and willing to change, constantly self-educating, developing, and providing tons upon tons of upfront value. Now, this is really important for you to listen to. You have to build the market's trust, the audience that you are targeting. You have to build their trust by providing loads of free value. We are in a world right now, like Gary Vee says, jab, 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 right hook, or Alex Hormozi, give, 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 get. You have to overload and over-deliver in free value before you ever charge. And I work on an 80-20 rule. 80% is for free and 20% I get paid very well. So you have to go through a period where you are not getting paid and you are serving people. You are serving and providing credibility and information and value to a market where you might not get paid for a year to 3 years. Are you comfortable with that? I always find the people who become the wealthiest and most successful are those that were willing to serve without ever getting paid the longest. And then it comes back in waves, the compound interest, right? Was it Albert Einstein, you know, the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest, it's true. They were not distracted, okay, by simple things. Scrolling on Instagram, mind-numbing content, just consuming it and just filling up your brain with just short-term negative dopamine hits of watching things online which are distracting and taking away your precious time. Which leads us nicely onto the next one. They didn't waste time. And there's a great quote, Benjamin Franklin, and that is, if we look after the minutes, the years will look after themselves. So this is probably the perfect time actually to talk about how the rich and successful simplify their life. So a lot of my friends and even the life that I'm living, and look, I've done pretty well financially at 32, but some of my friends who have literally made multi millions, and some of them have actually made in the hundreds of millions, we live in what's called a box life. And this is an interesting concept, right? A box life. For me, it's the gym, it's home, it's the studio, and it's London. I literally live in a box. And what that allows me to do is make huge amounts of progress. So I'm not distracted. And I would actually recommend to all of you, figure out your box life. And sometimes people will be like, oh, that sounds so boring. I would always choose this, living on my terms, doing what I want when I want. You know, it's a Wednesday afternoon, 10:45, I'm filming YouTube at the bottom of my garden. I'd rather do this. And then I'm gonna go to the gym. So I stay within my box because it allows me to be super productive. Now, I want to share some business ideas with you. Now that I've covered off pretty much the person that you have to become to actually become rich, and I really hope this has resonated with you, by the way. And if it has, please do leave a comment. Let me know what you've enjoyed about this video. And again, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, join the journey, because I'm here to serve and add value. These are my business ideas in which I want to share with you, and there's 5 of them. Number 1, it's never been easier to build a business around monetizing your own personal brand. And I know we talk about that a lot and there's a lot of videos, but it is true. My personal brand on TikTok has generated me over £150,000 now in the last 23 months. And that's gross. And that's through personal branding, through sponsorships, endorsements, all these brand deals, obviously the views, the ad revenue, other opportunities that I've had, VIP appearances, paid speaking gigs, all this kind of stuff, paid podcasts. Personal branding allows everyone, it's so accessible to talk about the things that you love and monetize on it. You just have to position yourself, learn how to commercially sort of promote and market yourself. You can do wonders, and it's free to start. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Talk about the things that you're passionate about. But yes, you're gonna have to front load by that 80-20 rule, which I said. Give 80% away for free. Eventually you'll be able to charge for 20%. Number 2 is build a paid community, whether that be on WhatsApp, school, Facebook, some form of a Discord, where you bring like-minded people together. You are the hostess with the mostess, or the host with the most, and you provide all your experience, knowledge, tips and tricks, and you bring people together and you charge a fee for that, typically monthly. Very scalable. Number 3, online consulting or coaching, where it's minimal costs. You open up a Zoom subscription and you start serving people online. You're not geographically tied and you can work with whoever you want to. And again, price point is based on your personal brand and your marketing skills. It's very scalable if you have a skill set or knowledge that you want to pass on to other people, which I'm sure all of you do. Number 4, selling e-learning programs, ebooks, and educational courses. Now, a lot of people get claimed as, oh, you're a scammer if you sell a course. It's rubbish. I sell 2 programs, very detailed, very successful 2 programs. I have a TikTok growth program and the breakout program. You can find more about that if you get your free guides in the description of this video, but they do what they say on the tin. There is nothing wrong if you have lived and breathed something and you've been successful at it and you package it up nicely, highly professional, over deliver again in value, and it does what it says on the tin, package it up into some form of e-learning educational course or program. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's incredibly scalable. And then number 5, build an agency. These are on the rise. They're earning people a lot of money if you get it right, whether that be in media, editing agency, content management, creator management agencies, marketing agencies, recruitment and sales agencies. People are starting agencies because they're low cost to start, very scalable, and incredibly lucrative. Now, finally, what do all of these 5 business models have in common? Well, they are minimal startup, if not 0 startup costs, rapidly scalable as a one-man band. And of course, you can build this out with freelance team. So again, keeping costs very minimal. And finally, they can all be built around a full-time job. So there are no excuses to start any of the above businesses. And all you need is a laptop, phone, and Wi-Fi. I do hope this video has helped on the reality of what it takes to become rich and successful. It's about you. Forget about the business, because anyone can go onto YouTube and think, oh, I'm going to start that, try it tomorrow. Doesn't mean you've got it in you. The 1% and the 99% is real. I promise you that, and you'll learn that the more you go into entrepreneurship. It's like a selection phase. You've either got it or you haven't. It's not to say you can't develop and learn it, but my God, this is a tough cookie to crack. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, leave me a comment, hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.